is up? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Back with some Resident Evil 3 Remake gameplay for you. And it's finally come. And that is Resident Evil Death Island, the movie, finally releasing today. I know it's been out in theaters everywhere but where I live, but I finally can own it and physically have it and watch it for myself. And I'll just tell you right now, it was a pain in the ass just to find a physical copy of this thing because I had to go to 5 stores. I mean, it was about just as frustrating as how long it took just to see our favorite characters team up for the first time. But nonetheless, Death Island's here. I'm going to give you my short little review of how I think about this movie, and then I'll go a little bit more in detail in a later part of this video. So overall, did I like this film? I know that's the first thing you guys want to wonder. Did I enjoy this film? Was it a waste of time? And just so you guys know, I'm not a big Resident Evil CGI film person. Before this film even came out, I had never seen the other three. Like, I've seen parts of them, but never all together, like from beginning to end. Because to me, I just honestly never really cared. The biggest reason why I even nodded for this film is just because it was bringing back Jill the first time since Resident Evil 5. So I was pretty much, that was what got me into it. And knowing that, all the other characters are going to be in it, have, Jill, Claire, Rebecca, Chris, and Leon teaming up for the first time ever. I mean, Resident Evil has been around since, like, over a quarter century, and we've never had more than 2 of the main characters in one place at a single time, let alone, 5 major characters, and it's just, it's kind of baffling that, but here we are in this movie. So overall, did I like and enjoy this movie? Yes, I think this is an easy movie to watch, just to have a good time. It's nothing crazy, insane, or anything like that, but it's just a nice, fun, easy adventure just to see your favorite characters team up for the first time and fight whatever the heck they're going to fight in this movie. And overall, as I said before, it shouldn't take that much to be entertaining, and it's not. It doesn't take too much. I mean, we have some nice action sequences. We have some nice character moments. The character moments were the thing I was wanted to see the most, and we get that. There's a few things I wish I could nitpick some things, but I'll save that for more of the spoiler section. But overall, the things I wanted this movie, I wanted to see some cool moments between the characters. I wanted to see them bring back Jill and give me this hope that, hey, we can not just see Jill brought back in this movie, but see Jill brought back in a game. And it definitely gave me a lot of that, as she is the main character of this film. And the other characters have good moments too, don't get me wrong, but she's definitely the main driving force of this film. And she has a lot of good moments, whether just, dialogue, talking, teaming up with Leon, some nice heart-to-heart moments maybe with Chris, where they have a little tension between them in the beginning of this film, and then just having some overall good action sequences. But bottom line, I did enjoy this movie. It's nothing crazy, special, but then again, I don't know if any of the Resident Evil CGI movies ever will be, but I think it's just an easy movie just to sit back, relax, and have a good time. I actually had one moment I didn't expect in this movie, and it's funny because it was the part about this movie that I at least cared about, and that was the villain. And he actually had an interesting concept, I'll go more with that later, that I really liked, that I think could really be used for future games, and maybe that's already what they're doing, as evidence in games that take place after Death Island. But as a Resident Evil fan, I was definitely satisfied with this. I definitely did enjoy this, and hopefully maybe we get some more CGI movies, or maybe some of this can translate to future games. But overall, my little short non-spoiler review, I did enjoy this. I did like this. You see your favorite characters come in there, kick some ass, and that's all we really can ask for in these things. I'm not going to be really specific in terms of any specific sets. It's just fun, nice to see. Just because they've been around for this long, they never really met each other. But that's the end of my non-spoiler part. Let's get to the spoiler section. I'll first get to the parts that I didn't care for too much and wish they did a little bit differently. And that is this. My biggest thing I wanted them to do is have some good character moments, and they have great character moments with Jill and Leon. I could definitely see them working together easily. You have a really nice moment with Jill and Chris, as I said, they're both referencing, the events after Resident Evil 5. Is Chris doesn't know if Jill's ready and doesn't want her to become numb to just constantly throwing your body and maybe your life around to save others. And Jill's like, blaming herself for the events of Resident Evil 5, saying, I'm not going to stop saving people. There's a little bit of tension there, but it's a really nice sequence. I mean, what I love the most about it is that Chris even referenced Piers, which is a nice callback. And it's like the first time you really see Chris and Jill maybe at little odds, but not in terms of like they just have a little difference of agreement. But I do like that because, I never expected Jill to come back and be like all, nonchalant happy. She went through a really traumatic incident after Resident Evil 5, nearly killing the person that she inadvertently saved life in the first place. But I really did like this, and but at the same time, she is still Jill. She's someone that's always trying to save and help out people. But the thing I didn't like is that there wasn't a lot of any really Jill Claire moments. I'll be honest with you, that was the tag team I really wanted to see even more than Jill Leon, but we don't get hardly any interactions, and I really hated it. I still, to this day, want to see a Jill Claire-led game. I think that'd be cool, but we just don't get that. And it's not that any of the characters don't get their moments, they don't, but I just want to see Jill and Claire interacting more often than we did, but we really don't get a lot of that, which is sad in its own right. But that's one thing I didn't care for. Another thing I didn't care for, and it's funny because I was watching some of the extras, and it was the extra where it talks about Jill bringing her back, and it's a scene where all of them are infected except for Jill, and then Jill runs away and gets away from it while all the others are infected. And the people behind this movie were like saying, well, she ran away because she's running away from, she doesn't know what to do, so she just runs away from the event. And I was thinking, no, she ran away because there's really not much she could do at that time point. They're infected, you got to figure something out. Then saying, encountering Rebecca in the tunnel, that changed your mind to go back. But it's like, I don't know what else they would have done. But the problem I have, compared to what the director said what actually happened, it's just like they try to make it out to be, we have a Jill, what she really do? But she doesn't really do anything. She just runs away and then runs to where they have the underwater stuff at and doesn't even really get anything to do. And just runs back to they're all reunited. I just felt like that part, there needed to be something there. I don't know. I just felt it was weird or something. Because in that time period, Rebecca, who might be the MVP of the movie, basically saves everyone from not being infected and administers the vaccine. But she gives them the vaccine and tells them that, where Jill's going and stuff in the armory. But, that's all she does is run to the armory. In that time period, you see them all reunite with Jill. And then they, obviously Leon in between has the fight with Maria, which was nice. But it's just like they try to make it up to be this big moment. But it's like there needed to be something else Jill did between then, I think. But I don't know. It was just a weird moment, I thought. The other thing that I didn't really care for, and I feel like a lot of people have pointed this out too, is I feel like the movie needed to be longer. By at least, I don't know, a half hour. Because I feel like things are just resolved way too quickly. Because they tried, because as I said, I was listening to the extras, and they're trying to say, these characters, they're trying to overcome their past, traumas. And I definitely get that for Jill, and a little bit with Chris here. But, you don't really get that for a sense like Rebecca, or Claire, or Leon. As I said, obviously, they try to make it out to be Leon's, Maria's come after Leon, because that's the person who kill a father or something like that. But the point I'm trying to make here is just and when I read the extras of this movie, I feel like they had great ideas, but they're not all orchestrated in this movie and stuff. So because for instance, people always say hey, Leon, I read a cool part about it was that the last time we saw him in Vendetta, he was really depressed. He was basically what Chris was in Resident Evil 6, and they talk about he's changed now because of all the camaraderie he's around, because he's kind of isolated and kept watching more people die and was really lonely, and it was teaming up with other people. It made him happy and stuff and made him more like the Leon cracking jokes and stuff. But I wish they had more moments to share that and stuff. And as I said, his team up with Jill is great. That's excellent. I definitely could see these two team up in a game, but I wish there was just more moments, and that's where the movie could have been longer to explain that. I wish they had more moments with, as I say, Claire. I think of all the main characters, Claire's the one that probably has the less. Not that she don't have good moments, she does. And they have some really good moments of Claire always trying to save people and stuff, which is true to her character. And she has some cool action moments too. But I just feel like she needed one more sequence just to really fill it all out evenly and stuff. And also just a sequence with her and Leon, because after Infinite Darkness, they ended on a really sour note, and they really need to patch things up, because that was so just really weird, and how that went down and stuff. I really think that, like, they needed a sequence like that. There is some nice character moments, but I feel like there need to be more, and that's where the extra time period would have come. Because I feel like there should have been like 15 minutes before they even got to Alcatraz, and another 15 minutes when they're in Alcatraz. But overall, I really did like a lot of things, though. I liked, as I said, I liked the villain, which I'm going to get to right now. He did something really surprising to me, because as I said, I could care less about the villain. I'm not watching this movie for the villain. I'm just watching to see the heroes team up. But he actually brought up a really cool concept that I think might be even used right now in Resident Evil, possibly with Resident Evil Post Village after the whole BSAA going rogue storyline, is that he's basically a guy, I like his origin, where he's basically a Raccoon City survivor, used to be with Umbrella, and that he had a traumatic incident where in order to survive and get out of there, he had to unfortunately put down his best friend, even though he didn't really want to, but he didn't really have too much of a choice, and it effed him up to the point where it's just like he makes a case that, like, Jill, Chris, Leon, Claire are not bad people, but they work for bad people. And basically they all tell themselves that, hey, they're doing it to save innocent civilians and lives, and they are. But he makes a point that, yeah, that may be true, but you're also using it to keep the people in power from staying in power, and to do whatever god awful things they want. And all the people you've worked for in the past, they have just manipulated and betrayed you. And he basically goes down the whole line list and stuff, saying like, hey, Leon, you work for the government DSAO and stuff like that, but look what they've done in the past and all the stuff you've gone through. You work for these dirty people and stuff. Claire, you work for TerraSave. You keep trying to save people, but you don't really do any saving. You just like do the bare minimum, like put bandages on people, but you don't actually, solve the problem. Chris, and this one, it made me laugh a little bit. It's true, unfortunately, but it's like you get everyone killed and you bring back more teammates just to get killed and stuff like that. And with Jill always, is hesitating to do the right thing, or to pull the trigger and do what's necessary and stuff. So he just rips in all of it. But the point I'm trying to make here is I like the concept he made, and that's kind of what you're seeing there with Resident Evil Village with the BSAA going rogue. And I'm wondering, this is like the genesis, even though this takes place, even though the movie came out well after Village, it does take place before Village. I wonder if this is kind of like the genesis of maybe that starting, which would really be cool. So ironic enough, the villain, who I cared less, actually came up with a really cool concept. I did like his little how he administrated the virus. That was pretty cool. And obviously you got your creatures, that whatever he transforms into when he fuses with the shark at the end. And you got some nice action sequences. But it was just a fun adventure just to see your favorite characters team up. And that's all I want. I just want to see my favorite characters team up, meet each other for the first time, have some cool character moments. And at the end of the day, be like, hey, you know what? These characters, they can still, hold their own, kick some ass, and be in future Resident Evil games. And that's the thing I hope this Death Island really creates, is more people wanting to see the characters that maybe haven't been in some mainline games as often as they used to. As I said, you know me how I feel about Jill and Claire, and I know Leon has been in these remakes, but just a brand new adventure, not a remake, but a new adventure starring these characters, I would love to see it. I'd also like to see them not stop make CGI movies and maybe involve some other characters. I know that the people talked about, hey, that they have to make another CGI movie. They want to include Sheva, Ada, Barry, Billy, and stuff like that. But and maybe we'll get that one day. But overall, I really did enjoy Death Island. It's not perfect by any means. It has its flaws. I think it's too short, and I'm not going to nitpick a few other things. But overall, I did like a lot of the action sequences. I like the character interactions. I still wish we had more Jill and Claire moments, but overall the Jill and Leon stuff was really good. I like the Jill and Chris stuff, and it was just good to see your characters do that cliche thing where at the end of the day they can walk off into the sunset with choppers flying in the air and stuff like that. But overall, that is my opinion. I want to hear your guys' opinion. What did you guys think about it? Did you like Death Island? Maybe not. Maybe somewhere in between. Let me know down in the comment section down below. Do you think that this is going to spark maybe future CGI movies and future games because of the events that happen in this? I hope so. I do intend to make more future videos discussing the implications of what happened in this movie. Maybe go in depth in specific scenes, but that had to be on another day. But overall, let me know what your opinion is down below. But that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully I can see you guys back on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you guys later. Peace.
Get off my train, shit Sparta!